You're listening to Atoms, Motion, and the Void. Night Stories, a wonderful program of stories and music that rivals the moon in radiance. Chapter 1, The Great Achievement.
I was in the middle of a tower, in the middle of a boat, in the middle of the sea. I was standing at the top, at the bottom of the boat, at the top of the bottom of the sea. Thank God I got my own philosophy. Thank God I got my own beliefs. In the middle of the river, in the middle of the town, and the center of the river, and the river around. One so big, the so damn, find yourself banging that boat again. I was in the middle of a tower, in the middle of a boat, in the middle of the sea. I was standing at the top, at the bottom of the boat, at the top of the bottom of the sea. Thank God I got my own philosophy. Thank God I got my own beliefs. In the middle of the river, in the middle of the town, and the center of the river, and the river around. One so big, the so damn, find yourself banging that boat again. Ooh,
I'll tell you now of a situation, years in the making, I suppose, my whole life, I shouldn't doubt. Although in fact it is more an unsituation, an undevelopment, a kind of decommissioning, I nevertheless call it the Great Achievement. If I might tease you with a riddle about this great achievement, it would be held in place by abstract opposites, such to say that I believe, with the arrival of the great achievement, that I am in possession now of more by means of establishing less. But this is not a riddle, although it has its riddlingness, at least to me, because I am, only as it turned out, the architect of the great achievement. I mean to say that I had no idea that I was building anything, or unbuilding anything. I had no willing motive or awareness of the deconstruction. In a word, I had no idea what I was doing. As this is not a riddle, and is more a mystery, I should like to here point out that the great achievement is not itself the mystery. And so I shall tell you what it is, what the great achievement is, 2 or 3 sentences ahead. Because in fact I believe our true focus, and the real mystery, lays in the unconscious nature of this accidental creation, the blind building, the thoughtless builder. To look at the process, not the result, and to lay our chief wonder there. As the old religions and many car commercials often care to indicate, it is not the destination, but the road that is, here, important. Now that I have written these last several sentences and have arrived at the location when I earlier supposed I might simply announce what the great achievement is, I sense the revelation remains yet on the horizon, and that likely, in addition, as it now appears to me, as it should to you, there is some ample proof that I am not a great predictor of how many sentences ahead this or that revelation lies. Furthermore, we should probably not count sentences, or make a curiosity cupboard of how many sentences hence this or any disclosure might lie, as 1, because that is a kind of elsewhere mathematics, and 2, well, though there may be a 2, I see that I must backtrack, as finding myself in the midst of mounting exactly the kind of numerical campaign that I am at present in the process of attempting to dismantle. For this, let me take full responsibility. You may have the next one. Let us now pause to recuperate and forget these last bits of waywardness. Can you forget the last thing that I said? Backwards and forwards, we'll try it again. Let's rewind and go back, not be there at all. You may have scar, but from naught you'll recall. Best, I think, to begin with yesterday's doomsday storm, as it was the storm itself that helped beat a path, so to speak, to the shocking reality of the great achievement. A true green storm, as I call such swirlingly cinematic apocalypsmos, and as gangrenous black clouds began to make their wound upon the sky, in bombardments of atomic thunder blasts and slithers of barbed wire rain and collapsing castle walls of wind, I went to turn on the main cabin light to fight the growing dim, only to discover that I could not find the switch, nor remember where it was. Hold this in mind. A man in his dark cabin, having lived there for years and years, yet unable to find what should be essentially as familiar and findable as his own elbow. Where is my elbow? Catches the spirit of my wonderment as I searched and searched in the mossy light for the continuously not there switch. It was as I searched along the floor of my bedroom for the light switch, having scanned the ceiling and felt each wall for the little angled nubbin of the switch, that my eye fell upon my bedside clock. A small tissue box drilled together in faux wood shingling, scrimmed with chrome lettering that proclaimed its humble name, the Dundee Electic-Toc Junior. Now I quite love clocks, even the Dundee Junior, but not much time, and for many years the Dundee has been firmly set at 6:18. Whether night or day I have no idea, but that is when exactly my Dundee Junior perished. I suppose when a clock breaks, one might call it a broken clock or a pile of parts, but I tend to believe that the Dundee has become something more than what it was, moved on to something quite superior to its station at the very point of breakage. Become the Dundee Senior is a way of looking at it. I don't mean it's in clock heaven, only that a simple broken thing bears suddenly a much more striking imminence to absolute mystery when it no longer does what it was meant to do. Stripped of its sole purpose, what is it now? Where before it was so clearly and so exactly such a something that was nothing but a clock, now it can only be something more. I have let it continue to serve as my primary timepiece, my broken bedside Dundee Electic-Toc Junior, in part because 6:18 was so dubious a time for me. In my life, an as yet unnoticed time, coming or going, morning or night, as I simply have, or had, no associations with 6:18, in the same way I have no, or few, associations with any Tuesday, or the month of February. 6:18 on a Tuesday in February, thus, therefore, the most dead and unknown and unfulfilling periods of my life. At any rate, I like this particular indication of 6:18, and it is my little joke to now suppose that my entire life takes place at 6:18 on Tuesday in February. When once I had nothing, I have exclusively all, and the Dundee has overseen this shift magnificently. It is harmonious to my way of thinking, and now together with the clock itself, to consider that both of us then are now unexpectedly concerned with the management of exceptional new lands. Sherwin Senior and Dundee Senior, now enchanted and fairy-tale cursed to live forever in their former wild nowheres. Later, when I noticed that I must have kicked out the cord and unplugged the clock, and realized that the Dundee had not perished at all, I found I didn't have the heart, and it was that sentiment, to plug it back in. I sensed a preference in it, and obviously in me, for this arrangement. For do we not, as we do with our skin and clothes, our spectacles and watches, our rooms and blankets, our light switches even, consider our things somewhat as we do ourselves, extensions of our beings, our favorite cups and toothbrushes, and even hand soap for a while as it lasts, being nothing more than slightly elsewhere parts of the body. Bicycles, icicles, what am I? I'm the Eiffel Tower when I'm inside. Spectacle, suitcase, what am I? Skin, paper, bones, and this apple pie. Skin, paper, bones, and this apple pie. It is somewhat outrageous to me that I have not yet cleared enough of a path that I might reveal the great achievement, which is yet such a simple thing that it almost requires no path to be cleared at all. And yet I wonder if you have by now, perhaps, simply guessed what the great achievement is, from the details of the true green storm, the unlocatable elbow of my light switch, and the stoppage of time, as arranged by both myself and the Dundee working together. There is an enigma of arrival, as some have noted, and by this I mean the announcement of such things said to be in the process of being announced. But there is also an order to arrival, which is almost to say that there is an order to order. The plane lands and the passengers get off. There are steps that need to be taken, stairs that need to be built, shoes that need to be tied, feet that need to be born and then learn to walk. But there is also a chaos to arrival, steps that cannot be taken, yet must be indicated, stairs that must be dismantled, shoes untied, etc., and yet, if clearly described and shown as missteps or movement in the wrong direction, can be as, even more, helpful as the issuance of the correct steps. I would go so far as to say that I believe that a list of contrary instructions as to the creating of a thing, instructions that would lead you afoul of building the thing you are hoping to build, are as necessary to the building of said thing as the right instructions. And for this very reason, I believe we are now perfectly situated. I believe that you are very nearly ready to hear of the great achievement. And why? Why now? Why almost ready? Because, my friends, we have travelled such a good and lovely distance, both away and toward it. And these are the tensions that oversee the very best kind of announcement. A revelation is not a block of wood. To see a thing, one must, simultaneously and equally, behold its antagonist. So it is with the great achievement. To simply say what the great achievement is, without all this long-enduring side-talk, if I did not speak of the true green storm, and the light switch, and the Dundee, and just a few other forthcoming items, would, in fact, be a kind of omission, even a direct contradiction to what the great achievement is at heart. The thing is both sides of its story, true and false, so to speak, not the thing. The last thing a thing is the thing. It is, yes, of course, the thing, I hasten to add, but least importantly. As with the Dundee Junior, what it is now is what it isn't, together with what it was, and together with what I and you believe it to be. Shall we move on? We shall. I needn't bother asking. Please be assured that I will do my very best to reveal the great achievement in the following episode, which takes as its great hero my stalwart toaster.
I am the ocean, I live where I drown. The moon turns me over, the sun burns me down. I am the mountain, I rise like a wing. The wind is my shepherd, the trees are my king. What can I do? What can I do?
Listen to the trees and the birds and the bees and the bark and shell and the church and bell. Blessed is the breeze on the whistling leaves and the whistling well and the whispering yell. Listen to the trees and the birds and the bees and the bark and shell and the church and bell. Blessed is the breeze on the whistling leaves and the whistling well and the whispering yell.
I am the river and I am the ground. I am the silence and I am the sound. I am the atom that can't be destroyed. I am the motion and I am the void. What can I do? What can I
Listen to the trees and the birds and the bees and the bark and shell and the church and bell. Blessed is the breeze on the whistling leaves and the whistling well and the whispering yell.
I am the ocean, I live where I drown. Moon turns me over, the sun burns me down. I am the mountain, I rise like a wing. The wind is my shepherd, the trees are my king. What can I do? What can I do?
You've been listening to Atoms, Motion, and the Void. For more information on the show, please visit my website at radioghost.com. Thank you, my friends.